Coach, last week I asked you about the depth of your club. You spoke highly of the depth of the club. Now you're getting everybody to come back. What's the competition like happening here, getting ready for this game this week?
Yeah, that's good. First of all, it's good that now Louis Morgan is here. Has now the training session today and yesterday as well, the training session. So it's good that we have this competition now in the team on each position. Emil made today, yesterday, individual program on the field. So we will see if it's possible to be an option on Saturday. But it's good that we are now a bigger group for our training session and also for the competition.
Next, go to Anthony.
Coach, DC is a big rival of this team historically. How have you been using that as motivation at all? And how much now that you've already done the game once, are you aware of just how big the rivalry is?
Yeah, we know about how important is this game, especially for our supporters, for our club. But the main point in our week and in our preparation for the game is to analyze the opponent and to find our solutions against DC United. But we know what this game means for all of us in the club and also for our supporters.
Next, go to JJ.
Sandro, what's it been like managing the locker room with Frankie going away and then the big rivalry coming in at the exact same time?
Yeah, but it was very clear, to be honest, and I had a very good conversation. It was 3 weeks ago with Frankie and Maya, so the situation was clear in person with him. And and we were also very open in this situation directly after the game, after the last home game against Toronto, and I think it was great for him to have these last moments with us, with the whole group. So now we have to look forward. We have to look forward now with our group, with our players now. We wish him all the best. This is what we said directly after the game. And he was a very important player, a great guy personally. And now we have to look forward for our target, for our game now for Saturday.
Go back to Anthony.
Coach, DC won't have Benteke for this game. Losing a big player like that might change their strategy. How are you thinking or adjusting to that, knowing that one of their big pieces won't be there?
Yeah, for sure. Benteke is a key player and is a very good player in his position as a striker. He scored a lot of times in the season, in regular season. So, but at first we have to look for the whole team, not only now to think about Benteke they missed, and so we have to think about our solutions. What I said before about our solutions, our defense behavior, and this is DC United. They played different structures now in this season. It makes it a little bit different in our preparation. Sometimes with 3 center backs, sometimes with back 4. But they want to be very aggressive and also against us on Saturday in their defending behavior. They have a lot of good moments in transitions and then also after second ball, long ball in these moments. And this is, we have to defend very serious, very aggressive with the highest mentality like the last home games. This is what we need. And then to find our solutions with the ball.
Go back to George.
Who are you looking to fill in the void for Frankie this week and maybe going forward?
Yeah, we will see. It's not only Frankie, Danny missed also the game, so both 6 positions. This is now the solution which we have to find for our coaching staff, and you have to be 2 options. So it's one by one to change on the 6th position now, or to change a little bit the structure. And this is we have to think about now the next days, especially then tomorrow when we talk about DC United and our solutions. And but this is we have to look. We have Ronnie Donko for sure. He played very well against Montreal in the position with double 6, so with 2 6 position. But we have to think about now the solution with our structure for Saturday.
Next, we go to Dan on Zoom.
Good afternoon, Sandro. Hope you're well. When you look back, the last couple of matches, again, that DC play to prepare for your tactics for this coming weekend, you also look back at your last match over in Washington to mix in a couple of new wrinkles to try and get the 3 points?
Yeah, for sure. We are looking the previous games from DC United now in the last weeks, and also our game. a few weeks ago against DC United. In this game, they played two structures. The first half was with three centre backs. It was more 4-2-3. 5-2-3, and the second half was then more the structure in 4-1-3-2. So we analyzed as well this game and the last games, but to be honest, we don't know 100% what DC United will play them on Saturday.
Next, we go to Gary on Zoom.
We talked about how without Morgan, without Forsberg, your team has basically stepped up during their absence. Of course, you're going this weekend without Edelman. And how much is that going to be much of a wrinkle when you go against DC? Because Edelman has been playing very well until suspension. My follow-up question is, with most of your players back, and you mentioned how you wanted everyone back, you want the whole team back. How does that make your job easier going up against them?
Yeah, this is what we have to find the solution now with the sixth position, and we are now very happy that Emil and Luis is back hopefully for this game on Saturday, and but we have Ronnie Donker for our sixth position now, and then he's a very important player for us. So this is what we have to look now and to decide tomorrow.
Next, go to Voss on Zoom.
How's it going, Coach? Best of luck this Saturday. And you touched on it before with DC United having a few pieces that may be missing. So the uncertainty of who's going to play, does that propose a challenge to your side? And this is the second part. We talked about Frankie having a replacement for the short term, but has there been any conversations for a long-term replacement for that position?
Yeah, for sure. We have ideas for the long term, but at the moment we are looking for the Saturday to find the best solution. To be honest, and this is what I mentioned. Ronnie Donker played very well against Montreal, and now we have to think about if we are playing with 1 or 2 6 position. This is now what we have to decide now tomorrow. And the second question was not Frankie. Yeah.
About the uncertainty of who might be lining up for DC United, if that proposes any challenges for your side.
Yeah, the main focus is what we want to do on Saturday, how we want to play, how we want to defend. This is now the main focus because we don't know the starting lineup now for DC United and the structure which they are playing.
We'll go to Anthony.
So I spoke to Dylan Nealis a little bit earlier. His game seemed to really open up against Toronto. Seemed to have a lot of freedom. What's it been like kind of recently coaching him and pushing him to be more active moving forward?
From
Dylan.
Dylan,
yeah.
Yeah, Dylan, this is important, his development as a fullback, right fullback, in his defending behavior, very strong in the duels, to keep, to step out in good moments. I think this is very important for Saturday, not only for Dylan as a team on the side to defend, because when they play on the side and they have very good deep runs, DC United, this is what we have to defend. And a big step for him is to pass forward, to find the right moment, to make these runs, to overload sometimes the situation with our 10 position on the side. And I think this is a big part in his development, and he made it, especially in the last weeks, very well.
We have time for 2 more questions, Coach. First, we'll go to George.
Coach, my question's a little off the topic. With Morgan coming back from the Euros, do you think that international coaches look down on this league and kind of hesitate to bring somebody from the MLS onto their international club when it comes to these 2 tournaments? Because it's pretty safe to say that throughout the league, there's players that could be playing on their international team, but they kind of get overlooked. Do you agree? Do you think that maybe that's something that...
This is the solution now. This is now actually the situation. I think... for sure, as a club coach, and I think all the club coaches in the MLS, they want every weekend to play with the best team, with the best starting lineup. So sometimes you have the injury, but then you have to manage that in the club with your medical stuff. But normally it's clear that you want to play with the best starting lineup, that all players are able. And when it's national break, then it could be a good solution than not to play, to be honest. But now this is a little bit special now with Europe Cup now, and now here the Copa America. And but we have to handle it now. So don't to lose the energy now without negative thoughts. This is my job, and all the job also from our coaching staff to think about to find our best moments, to find our best solutions for the situation.
Last week I asked Coach about the character of the club. You know, you look at the schedule and you see that you're going to be missing some guys for a bit, but everybody stepped up tremendously. So I asked Sandro about the character, and he had in the locker room. What are you thinking character-wise towards everybody stepping up, and what's going to happen when everybody comes back?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the first thing I noticed when I first got to this club. Just everyone's always ready to give their all when their name's called. And when big guys are out, I think players are ready to step up, and that's a detriment to how we train every day. Guys train hard, and they want to prove themselves. So I think that's just the mentality of this club, and something I kind of realized right away when I got here.
What happens competition-wise once everybody starts coming back? Practice will start getting a little hectic between you guys. How does that add to the character of the club?
Yeah, it's good. It's always a good thing. I've been in some clubs where that competition isn't there, and you kind of see guys take days off. They think they could kind of just go through this, swing of things in training. But with competition, it's always good. It's healthy competition, so it's always a good thing. It just creates like good environment where guys are competing day in and day out.
Talk a bit about your play in the Toronto game. You seem to have a lot of freedom moving around the field. Is that something that the coach has been working with you with, or is that did you just feel it in the game and you saw those openings?
Yeah, I feel like I've been playing well the past few games, and yeah, that's just something Sandro has kind of instilled in us. Keeping one guy wide at all times and making sure there's someone in that half space, whether it's the fullback or number 10. But yeah, there is some freedom there, which I enjoy. I think it's been helping my game, but yeah, been feeling good lately.
You played a center back as well at certain points this season. With the congestion coming up with Leagues Cup, are you comfortable with that switch, or would you prefer it if you're playing on the right?
Yeah, I'm always comfortable. I always tell people I could play anywhere along the back line. So, and I think that's just speaks to what kind of player I am. I'm always ready to step up in whatever position's needed. But yeah, if there's some games needed at center back, I'm not afraid to play there. So I'm looking forward to it if that is the case.
Your play this season's been getting better and better each match. You finally got the man of the match day. What was that feeling like?
Yeah, it was great. Something that I don't really look at too much. Just worry about being consistent the whole year. How can I build these consistent performances? Game in, game out. And yeah, we go again this weekend. It's another big test for us. So looking forward to seeing some old friends at DC.
The last couple of games you've been taking off on set pieces, going airborne, even over your brother. So I guess, is it Air Nealis or Air Dylan when you go up there?
Yeah, no, that's something I take a huge amount of pride in, is set pieces defensively and offensively. I'm still waiting for that goal to come, but I've quite literally been getting closer and closer every game. I think Nashville one I couldn't have gotten any closer. The ball ended up in the net, but just got called back. So yeah, I'm still waiting for that first goal. I wouldn't say embarrassing, but it's been a lot of games. So hopefully I can finally just get it across the line.
What does the rivalry against DC mean to the team?
Yeah, we all know it's a big game. I think kind of the New York City rivalry is a bit more, but the history of this club, I think DC and New York go way back, so we know what kind of game it's going to be. Familiar coach on their end, and he's familiar with our system, so a lot of familiar faces. I think it'll just be a battle come Saturday, so nice. We'll be up for it.
And then also now having Lewis back, how has it been getting him back into practice, getting into the swing of things?
Yeah, it was great to see him. We were all super proud of him to make that Euro squad, and he got a little cameo at the end there in the third game against Hungary. Yeah, we're all super grateful to have him back. I think we're all cheering him on to do well out there, but again, I think we're just as excited to have him back here. So we're looking forward to seeing him back at Red Bull Arena, that's for sure.
Yeah. So you've been under Troy and Sandro, obviously. What are some of the, not too specific, obviously, but what are some of the differences in coaching styles between the two of them?
Differences? I wouldn't say there's too many. Just very, kind of Oh, that's a good question. No, I think they're pretty similar. Both very personable. You can go in and talk to them about anything, and their ideas kind of just flow. They make it easy to play in a system. Their ideas are very clear. So both two terrific managers that people love to play for. So.